Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? A little pop-up Saturday live, man. We got a packed lineup for tonight. You know, some good boxing lineup. You know what I'm saying? Some good boxing fights. You feel me? We got Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa, unification. You dig what I'm saying? We got Telefimo Lopez taking on his mandatory finally in George Ferocious Kambosos. You know what I'm saying? We got a pretty eventful night of boxing. Salute to the OG Mr. Money in the building, off top. You know what I'm saying? Cry 7435 in the building. Salute. DSV Company in the building. What's good? Said one of the Garys fight too. Hey, are they fighting on the show? He's fighting on the Showtime card, right? Devin Block in the building. Salute. What's good with you, my brother? Walter Lee in the building. What's good? My brother Punch Perfect Boxing in the building. What's up with it, man? Robert Justice in the building. Salute to you. Stephen Pamphile in the building. What's good? Showtime. Okay, bet. Is it Antoine or Antonio Russell? Which one? Is it the one at 140? Oh, he fighting at 118. Okay. Okay, so that must be Antonio. Okay. Big Tex 33 in the building. Salute to you. What's good? Appreciate y'all boys for pulling up, man. Yeah, man, I just want to pop out on y'all, man, you know, this Saturday afternoon, talk some boxing. You know what I mean? We got a packed night. You feel me? Eventful night. I ain't got shit going on right now, man. It's cold and rainy out here in Dallas, Texas. So shit, I figured, man, why not, man? Let's get on here and talk a little boxing with y'all boys, man. Tez Frank in the building. What's good? Said Crawford need to take that 60-40. I think he need to do whatever he got to do to make it happen, man. You know, Bob Arum not in the way no more. You know, he a free man, so to speak. He can make his own decisions. He ain't gotta worry about Bob Arum, you know, peeking over his shoulder, trying, hey man, no, we gotta take 50-50 because I gotta get my cut too. You know what I'm saying? So he should be able to take whatever ERROL Spence and Man Down Promotions and Al Heyman them offer to him. And let's make this shit happen, you know. And then, you know, shit, on ERROL Spence side, he gotta be diligent too. You know what I'm saying? It gotta come from both sides, man. They gotta be diligent about this shit. You know? But we gonna dive deep into it, man. Hey, salute to everybody coming through. Shout out to my brother Kano Loco Sports in the building. What's good? Hold on. Said hate to break the bad news, but Ugas is not out of the picture. He will drop his belt and face Spence next. They will add the Ring Magazine belt to it to spice it up. Oh, don't do me like that, brother Kano Loco Sports. Why you gonna come in here and do that, man? Hey, shout out to my brother Kano Loco, man, coming in here dropping a goddamn bomb. Bro, don't do me like that, bruh. You know they always playing politics, dog. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit, bruh. I don't like that. How you gonna do a Ring Magazine belt and he ain't even number 2? And then he don't even got the WBA belt. Bro, that's crazy. So you mean to tell me some poo-put ass Stannion is gonna get the fight for Undisputed? That's some bullshit right there. He said, don't shoot the messenger. Hey, salute to the OG Mr. Munt in that super chat coming through and showing love, man. I appreciate it, my brother. He said, has anyone actually broke the Porter Crawford fight down? I mean, actually talked about what happened throughout the entire fight. Everyone just talked about the knockout. The fight was competitive. Facts. Yeah, man, you know, shit, I broke it down. I did the, you know, I did like the immediate reaction, but then that Monday I had, you know, I posted a nice little breakdown and went in depth. It was a very competitive fight. I didn't see what everybody else saw. You know what I'm saying? All they saw was just a knockout. I had Sean Porter up 6-3. A lot of people like tripping on my scorecard, but that's what the fuck I seen. You know, I saw a competitive fight, but it was a lot of swing rounds. Them bitches could have went either way. But I saw Terence Crawford like taking control of the fight though. Like around 8, round 9, 10, he started taking control of the fight. But at that point, I had Sean Porter up. I just thought he was doing a better work. It seemed like Terence Crawford had a case of, you know how Deontay Wilder fell in love with the power, right? You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder, early on in his career, you know what I'm saying, he was a lot more busy, but then go look at fights like the second fight versus Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz won like 7 straight rounds, and then Deontay Wilder, he just waiting on that one shot. That's the kind of vibe that I got from Terence Crawford. And I see that since he been fighting at 147, I've been seeing that a lot. Like, he'll give up rounds just to look for the perfect shots and then start turning it up. Of course, he a lot more active and a lot more skilled than Deontay Wilder, but just kind of putting it in perspective, that's how I saw the Sean Porter fight going. It seemed like, you know, he'll tie up and then he was just trying to run Sean Porter into certain shots as opposed to being busy. So I gave Porter a lot of those rounds. You know what I'm saying? But he finally landed the shot that he was looking for. He was taking a step back and timing the uppercut the whole night. The left uppercut, he was timing that bitch. He kept timing that bitch, and he was missing until he finally caught him. So that's the kind of vibe that I got. It wasn't like Crawford was just dominating Sean Porter. He wasn't, bro. He was missing hella shots. He was getting hit a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I seen what he was looking for. The whole night, me and my bro, we watching the fight. I'm like, he looking for that uppercut. You know what I'm saying? I told my partners before the fight, I'm like, that whether he was fighting orthodox or southpaw, I said, I want to see that uppercut from Terence Crawford. Alamane Cruz in the building, salute. I know I done missed a lot of y'all coming in, man. Y'all done got me on the vibe right now. You know what I'm saying? Dev Son Andre in the building, salute. Devin Blocker, what's good, man? Appreciate everybody for pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Snoopy 8081 in the building, seen and unseen boxing. What's good, man? I appreciate all y'all for pulling up, man. But said Spilker was winning too until Deontay pulled out that shotty. For real. That's the kind of vibe that I got from Crawford. But I'm not taking nothing away from him because that was obviously part of his game plan. And when you have consistently shown the power that Terence Crawford has shown throughout his career, but especially at 147, he stopped everybody he fought. You know, look at the Kell Brook fight. I had Kell Brook winning the first 2 rounds. He was eating Terence Crawford up with the jab until Terence Crawford switched southpaw because versus an orthodox fighter, number one, Terence Crawford is most comfortable in the southpaw stance. But especially against an orthodox fighter, so he can take that jab away, and every time you come in with your jab, you know, he got that which is his jab now being a southpaw, but that's still a power punch. That straight right, it's really like a straight right, but it's just his lead hand in the southpaw stance. And that bitch, if he hit you with that motherfucker, he could do some damage. And that's what he did with Kell Brook. Kell Brook tried to come in with the jab. Terence Crawford having longer arms, being in the southpaw stance. He timed that bitch perfect and ran Kell Brook right into that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And he do that a lot with orthodox fighters. You feel me? But I saw what Terence Crawford was looking for in that fight. And so I can't take no credit away from him, even though he was giving up hella rounds, in my opinion. Even the actual judges had him up, but I didn't agree with those scorecards. And then people want to tell me, well, it don't matter because the real judges had him up. Like real judges ain't never fucked up scores before. Like in Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo, like one of them that have Canelo up. You know what I'm saying? We know judges be fucking these cards up. They do that shit all the time. How many times y'all done came on here, you know, complaining about the score of a fight? Man, them scorecards was some bullshit. What about Teofimo Lopez versus Vasil Lomachenko? Man, that shit, he wasn't up that big like that. Yeah, he won, in my opinion, he won like the first 6 rounds because Lomachenko wasn't doing shit. But they had one of the judges had him up like 9-3 or something. Hell no, that's some bullshit. They had him winning like 9-3. Like 10-2 or 9-3, some bullshit. So you can't tell me you always agree with the motherfucking actual scorecards. Fuck no. I had Sean Porter up, but if you had Terence Crawford up, that's cool because it was a lot of swing rounds because Crawford was landing some clean shit, you know, but he was missing a lot of punches and he was getting hit a lot. Shawn Porter was doing some good work on the inside. You know what I'm saying? He was, I felt like Shawn Porter was pushing the fight. You know, I felt like he was the one that was making the fight. You know what I'm saying? But again, Crawford was looking for that shot and he found it. So you got to give him credit for that. You know what I mean? But you know, shout out to Marvelous Williams in the building. Salute. What's good? Said he had Crawford winning round one. Damn, I can't remember exactly round for round how I scored it. Cause I know I had them split. Matter of fact, I had Porter winning round one, and then I gave Crawford round two. I had Porter winning round one. MJ's total health and wellness enrichment in the building. Salute. What's good? Walter Tran in the building. What's going on? Said Kenny bet on Crawford in the 10th. Yeah, I had Porter winning round one. I don't know how you gave Crawford round one. I damn near gave Porter round two, but I gave it to Crawford though. I damn near gave Porter round two. As a matter of fact, if I go back, I might have gave Porter round two. I gotta go back and look at what I had because I was in the group chat texting round by round, like scoring the motherfucker. So I gotta go back and see what I had. But I definitely gave Porter round one. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the brother Kind of Loco Sports just came in here and dropped a bomb on us talking about, you know, PBC, they trying to do Spence and Ugas without the belt. I don't like that shit. It's a lot of reasons why I don't like that shit. Number one, because it ain't no unification. Fuck the ring belt. Even though I respect the ring belt. I do. You know what I'm saying? I respect it. Just because traditionally it's supposed to be 1 versus 2. That's why I respect the ring belt. But then when you start doing 1 versus 3, and then there really ain't even no real title on the line, I was gonna be cool with it if they did ERROL Spence versus Manny with the ring belt on the line, because he's Manny Pacquiao, and he would have had the WBA belt if they was gonna reinstate him. And you put the ring belt on the line, even though Terence Crawford number 2, I would have been okay with that. But hell no, you can't put Ugas in there with Spence and then put the ring belt on the line, and he don't even got the WBA belt. You gonna strip him? That's crazy to me. I don't like that. But I do respect the ring belt, but I don't think it should go down like that. You feel me? I think you really watering it down if you put Ugas in there with Spence and you put the ring belt on the line. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that shit. But it just don't make no sense to me. Why not go into the Terence Crawford fight off tops? I don't see what you gain from fighting Ugas outside of just a tune-up, which you said, you know, ERROL Spence said he don't need no tune-up. I don't know if Al Heyman and them got certain plans that they trying to do. I really don't know what the fuck going on with that. Kind of Loco done came in here and dropped a bomb on him. Yeah, Ring Magazine, they did update the rankings. They got Crawford number 1 and Spence number 2. It still don't matter. That don't matter. Ugas is not 1 or 2. So having Ugas in there for the ring belt, it still don't make sense. Simply Amira J in the building. Salute to you, Queen. Appreciate you for coming through. Let me see. Said I hate it, but it's what's going to happen. Yeah, bro. That's crazy, dog. That don't make no sense to me, bro. Skinny 2 Little reaction in the building. What's good? Eric Bowden in the building. What's going on? Narco Blings in the building. Say hit the likes. Yeah, y'all hit that like button, man. I appreciate it. Said Crawford could move up to 154 if Spence ain't in the equation next year. He could. In my opinion, shit, if I'm ERROL Spence, if I'm not fighting Crawford next and I'm not getting no unification next, bruh, why even stay at 147, in my opinion? Salute the DSV company in the building. In that super chat coming through and showing love. He said Ugas December 9th purse bid. Exactly. So that's my initial thoughts. Joey Foster in the building. Salute. You know, Ugas, they put him in a purse bid for that tournament to fight Stanionis. However, if Ugas gives up the belt, then it don't matter. He don't have to abide by that obligation. He can just go and do his own thing. And you know Yordenis Ugas, even though he coming off a nice payday with Manny Pacquiao, you know he gonna take the ERROL Spence payday. You know what I'm saying? Because you get a chance to, you fighting ERROL Spence, and you getting a chance to jump directly in a unification because he has 2 belts. And on top of that, you get a payday. It's going to be pay-per-view. I mean, for Yordenis Ugas, it would make business sense for him to say, all right, fuck the WBA belt. Y'all ain't going to let me defend my shit versus Spence. Well, fuck y'all tournament. I'm going to go fight Earl anyway. So I understand that. That makes sense. But at the same time, for the fans and for what we want and what, you know, what sounds logical to us for the fight, I mean, the only unification that can happen next is ERROL Spence and Terence Crawford. ERROL Spence said he don't want no tune-up. He said he only want unification. You know what I'm saying? Now, would you consider Yordenis Ugas a tune-up? That's another question. But then on top of that, if it ain't unification in my mind right now, it ain't, that's a tune-up to me. For ERROL Spence, if it ain't unification, it's a tune-up because he chasing Undisputed. That's what he wants. So if it's not a unification, I'm looking at that shit as a tune-up. You know. Salute to the brother Knockout Boxing 86 TV in the building. What's good? Says salute, bro. I wholeheartedly agree. He said with the title of your live stream, keep speaking the truth. Dallas, Texas, boxing talk, going straight to the top. Big facts. You know what I'm saying? You know, we speak that real out here in Dallas, Texas, man. You know, you got a lot of people hating on us, bro. It's a lot of people hating on us, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we ride, you know what I'm saying? We ride with the real ones, you feel me? We fuck with Earl the Truth Spence Jr., but we going to tell the truth. All top. We going to keep it 100. And we know our shit, you know, but they be hating on us, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see him in the comments. Oh, he from Texas. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he like ERROL Spence. He from Texas. But they can't tell me one time I told a lie. They can't tell me one time I ain't keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? They can't tell me one time I ain't speak the truth. You feel me? So, you know how that go. You know how that go. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man, I want to see Spence versus Crawford next, just like all y'all, just like everybody, bro. I want to see Spence versus Crawford next. I don't want to see no tune-ups. You dig what I'm saying? I don't want to see none of that shit. I want to see Earl the Truth Spence Jr. versus Terence Bud Crawford next. And then whoever is holding that title, they probably gonna have Stanionis fight. If Yordenis Ugas actually keeps the belt, then they'll have Ugas fight Stanionis. I would favor Ugas in that fight. In a perfect world, he beats Stanionis and then he'll be left to get an opportunity for Undisputed. You know what I'm saying? But it looked like shit. Ugas fuck around and drop that belt and get in the way. You know what I'm saying? Damn, bruh. Said, I need to see Keith versus Bud first. Man, Keith ain't talking about fighting nobody. Keith Thurman talking about he need 8 months to fight. This man I ain't seen Keith Thurman since 2019, and he talking about he need 8 months. Come on, bruh. Reginald Mackey in the building, salute. Viewpoint TV in the building, salute. What's good? Said y'all hate Terence so much, but that's why he great. But who hate Terence though? Who hate Terence Crawford? You must be new to this channel. If you think I hate Terence Crawford, or if you think the people who support this channel hate Terence Crawford, salute to the brother, the soulmates in the building. then you must be new here. I ain't never seen your name across my screen either. You must be new here. You can check my catalog and see the type of support I done gave Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? You can go check my catalog and just look at the titles of these videos and peep the content and come back and tell me if you think I hate Terence Crawford. You gotta be new here. Said PBC be working a deal for Bud to face Thurman first, then Spence 2-fight deal in 2022. That I can see that, but I mean, shit. If Keith Thurman talking about he need 8 months, Black Boxing Kings in the building. Salute. I like that name, man. Black Boxing Kings. That shit sounds strong. I like that. Hey, man, if Keith Thurman talking about he need 8 months though, that shit kind of gonna throw the schedule off. That's gonna be like what? July? From this time, it's gonna be like July. I don't know. I don't really like the idea of Terence Crawford sitting out that long. He already 34. I don't want to see Crawford sitting out till July. Then we gonna fight what? September, October, November, fight Errol Spence. I don't like the idea of that. I don't like the idea of Errol Spence sitting out this long that he been sitting out. I want to see Errol Spence back in the ring at the latest by March. Maybe April. Said Keith Thurman blowing smoke. Big facts. Man, Keith Thurman, he blowing big smoke, bro. He don't want no smoke with nobody. Keith Thurman he's content with popping up on Fight Hype every once in a blue moon with his motherfucking, with that new haircut he got from Supercuts and shit, with the shit sticking up like he just got out the bed. He content with popping up on Fight Hype in the gym every once in a blue moon, acting like he training, but he really ain't even training. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman be in the gym pretending like he training and shit, but he really don't even be doing shit. You know what I'm saying? They pull up to the gym, they like, Keith, can we get a couple of interviews? He like, hold on, let me put some gloves on real quick and act like I'm hitting the bag. He said, pour some water on me so it can look like I'm sweating. They be like, hey, pour some water on me so it can look like I'm sweating. Man, he don't even be in there training, bruh. How you need 8 months to fight, but you been out the ring for 3 years? Jay Cooley in the building. Salute. What's good? That shit crazy, bruh. Keith Thurman need to stay out the picture unless he trying to, like, if Keith Thurman trying to fight like within the next 3 or 4 months, I'm cool with it. Even though I want to see Errol Spence and Terence Crawford next, I'm okay with Bud fighting Thurman in 3 months and Errol Spence fighting Ugas in 3 months. I'm cool with that, if that gotta be the case. But if we talking about Bud waiting on Thurman and fighting in July, and he ain't gonna do nothing in between that time, and then Errol Spence is fighting, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit just, I don't like that. I don't like that. Said Bud Crawford more than likely wouldn't even waste no time with Keith. He'll probably go ahead and get him up out of there. Going to the body. Yeah, nah, for real. Yeah, I like Bud versus Thurman, for sure. I like Bud versus Thurman. I think Thurman will go out there and test Bud's chin like early. I think he'll test his chin for sure. You know, I think he might even hurt Terence Crawford early in the fight. But I could see Crawford withstanding the storm, you know what I'm saying, and putting the beats on Keith Thurman. Because, you know, lately, shit, Keith Thurman only good for like the first few rounds. He'll come out there throwing some bombs. But then after that, you know, once he find out he can't hurt you, man, he ain't about shit. But yeah, talking about who you got. Oh, you know, I got Errol Spence over Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? That shit not gonna change. I don't know why people be like wanting me to change my pick. I don't know what y'all seeing different than Terence Crawford that make you think he gonna beat Errol Spence. If you was like already picking Errol Spence. If you already was picking Terence Crawford, all right, that's cool. Stay on that side. You know what I'm saying? If you got your reasons on why you think Terence Crawford gonna win, then stay on that side. But I don't know what y'all think that changed that tell you he gonna beat Errol Spence. Said folks with the triangle theory, it doesn't work. Big facts. Said Errol Spence gonna get outboxed by Terence Crawford. Absolutely not. There is literally no way that Terence Crawford can outbox Errol Spence. By the time we get to the 6th round, Errol Spence gonna be up 4 or 5 rounds. I promise you. Terence Crawford only has a puncher's chance versus Errol Spence. Rebel Light Boxing in the building, salute. Terence Crawford only has a puncher's chance versus Errol Spence. I'm gonna tell you again. Terence Crawford only has a puncher's chance versus Errol Spence. He's not gonna outbox Errol. Errol Spence is more fundamentally sound than Terence Crawford. He is busier than Terence Crawford. His jab is better than Terence Crawford's. His work rate is higher than Terence Crawford's. Terence Crawford is gonna be trying to land one good punch all night. He's not gonna win. He's not gonna be able to win 7 rounds over Errol Spence. He's not. The only way he can beat Errol Spence is if he hurt him and stop him. That's literally his only chance. If the fight goes, and I think Errol Spence can knock out Terence Crawford at any point in the fight. But if the fight does go 12, I promise you it won't be Terence Crawford hand getting raised. I can guarantee you that. He is not going to outbox Errol Spence, bro. It's not happening. Terence Crawford's best hope is to try to set a trap for Errol Spence and make him run into some shit and land something crazy and change the whole trajectory of the fight. And I told y'all, Terence Crawford, in my opinion, is the best offensive fighter in the sport of boxing. And I think he's the best finisher in the sport of boxing. But he's not going to outbox Errol Spence. He don't throw enough punches around. He don't throw enough punches. And Errol Spence's defense, if you watch the Danny Garcia fight, you can see his defense has gotten way better. His defense was already sharp, but he's gotten even sharper. He told you before the Danny Garcia fight, you're going to see a smarter fighter going into that fight. He went forward on Danny Garcia from round 1 to round 12, and he out-countered the counter-puncher while going forward. You're going to see Errol Spence being first in that fight versus Terence Crawford while making Terence Crawford miss and countering him while coming forward. That's what you're going to see. You're going to see a constant and steady jab to the head and to the body, and you're going to see that overhand left, and you're going to see the jab straight left. You're going to see head movement, and you're going to see pressure. That's what's going to get to Terence Crawford. Pressure, work rate. And this ain't no Sean Porter we talking about. This a real live welterweight we talking about with accuracy, timing, a great jab, physical strength, power, and intellect, ring IQ. This ain't no Sean Porter we talking about Errol the Truth Spence Jr. Terence Crawford's only chance to beat Errol Spence is a puncher's chance. If he can't land anything significant to hurt Errol, and the truth is, he probably can't even hurt Errol. That's the truth. I think, now, I'm being honest. I think both guys are at risk of being hurt in the fight. Anybody can get hurt. But my point is, Errol Spence might take his shit, and it might not be none to him. That's the scary thing for Terence Crawford. If he lands some shit on Errol early, and Errol figure out, I can take this man punches, you're going to see constant pressure. Constant pressure. Who you think gonna be winning those rounds? It ain't gonna be Terence Crawford. I promise. Let me see who I missed. Salute to the OG, Mr. Monk, back in that super chat, coming through and showing love. He said Errol doesn't fold in the later rounds either. He gets stronger in the later rounds. He gets stronger as the rounds go. That's what motherfuckers don't understand. And I got something to speak on in regard to that as well. He said, nor does he lose focus. Facts, stick to the game plan in the championship rounds. By that time, Errol is going downhill on his opponents. Big facts. And let me tell you another thing. Here's another thing. When Terence, you know how this is what I'm gonna tell y'all what Terence Crawford been doing. I'm finna give y'all the whole shit. This is what Terence Crawford been doing. Go back to the Jeff Horn fight. Jeff Horn was making shit tough for him in the first few rounds. But because Jeff Horn is Jeff Horn and he not special, Terence Crawford, he turns it up to another gear. Not necessarily, he does make great adjustments, but it's not necessarily making specific adjustments. What Terence Crawford does is he turns the intensity up. And he like, okay, this motherfucker landed something on me. Oh, he putting a little pressure on me. I'm finna get on his ass. That's what Bud do. He a dog. He turn it up. He just turned up the level of intensity. And guys like Jeff Horn, they can't go to that next level like Terence Crawford. The same thing he did with Mean Machine. Mean Machine was outboxing Terence Crawford. Knocked him down. Was landing shit on him. He was timing Terence Crawford. He was outboxing him. But what Terence Crawford do? He turn up the level of intensity. He go to another level. He say, fuck it, we fighting in this motherfucker. Benavidez. Benavidez had one leg. Benavidez was still going tit for tat with Terence Crawford. He was boxing in the middle of the ring going tit for tat with Terence Crawford. What Terence Crawford do? He just continued to turn it up and turn it up. And it was only a certain level that Benavidez could go to. But when you get in there with ERROL Spence, you getting in there with a motherfucker who, when you turn it up, he gonna turn it up too. When you turn that shit up a notch, ERROL Spence going up too. Now he going up with your motherfucking ass. He said that's what y'all don't understand. That's what y'all don't understand. You not just finna turn up the level of intensity on ERROL Spence and think, oh, now I'm finna be. Hell no. You turn that shit up on Earl, he gonna turn that motherfucking knob up on your ass too. And y'all gonna be some fighting motherfuckers in there. And when it come down to the rounds and ERROL Spence coming forward with constant pressure, with accuracy, timing, being steadfast, I'm taking ERROL Spence. Because I know ERROL Spence can knock your ass out and he can win on the cards. Terence Crawford not beating ERROL Spence on the cards. He not. I'm trying to tell y'all. I would be willing to bet anything that if that fight does go 12 rounds, it's not going to be Bud that's winning. I promise you. Now, both of them can get knocked out. Anything can happen. And I'm going to be honest with you. If we talking about somebody get knocked out, I would think it'll be Terence Crawford before ERROL Spence. Just based off what I seen. Salute to the brother D Luckett in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said, I don't think Earl can deal with Bud's power. I think he will be Spence's first power puncher. Both chins will be tested. Big facts. Well, as far as they both chins will be tested, I agree with you on that. But I think Danny Garcia is a power puncher. He may not have the power that Bud has, but I think Danny Garcia is a legitimate power puncher. I think when Earl fought Kell Brook had, some good pop. I wouldn't consider Kell like a power puncher, but he has some very respectable power. But this probably will be the hardest puncher that Earl been in the ring with. I can say that. One punch power, I can say that. I could agree to that. You know what I'm saying? I could agree to that. But that's the thing, though. In my opinion, Terence Crawford has been relying so much on his power at 147 because the level of competition done been so like subpar. Now again, he did just beat Sean Porter. Kudos, big facts. You know what I'm saying? And he landed the perfect shot at the right time, but he gave up a lot of rounds to do that. What if he give up those rounds to Errol Spence and he can't hurt Errol? What he gonna do then? What happened when Terence Crawford turned it up to another notch and Errol Spence turned it up too? Then what happened then? I just don't understand how, like, I know Terence Crawford is a superb boxer, very skilled, but I just can't see for the life of me. And I'm honestly thinking about scenarios. I'm like, I can't see Terence Crawford winning on the round, winning on the cards. I can't see it. He gonna have to knock Errol Spence out. Go back to my first go. He say Bud break his opponents mentally. You can't break Errol Spence Jr. mentally, bruh. He gonna have to physically take him out of the fight. See, that's what y'all don't understand. That's what they don't understand. Motherfuckers acting like Errol Spence is Amir Khan or something. Motherfuckers acting like Errol Spence is fucking Jeff Horn or some shit. When have you ever seen Errol Spence mentally broken in a fight? What makes you think that you can mentally break Errol Spence? Say Earl hasn't been mentally tested yet. When have Terence Crawford been mentally tested? This shit crazy. But look, I love this talk though because, man, look, I want to see this fight next. You feel me? And I think this could go down as like, for real, like one of the best fights in history. Man, there's two black supreme elite fighters who both can possibly one day go down as all-time greats. They'll have a chance to be undisputed at 147. Terence Crawford already undisputed at 140. You know what I'm saying? This fight right here, you know, this shit right here gonna be one for the ages, in my opinion. And I think they gonna have some extra security at the fights too. That shit gonna be hooded out. That shit gonna be hooded out. Salute to the brother D Lucky back in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said Buzz combinations are gonna give Earl problems. Yeah, you know, I see what you mean with combinations. But see, that's what a great jab do. A great jab can throw all that shit off. You know what I'm saying? A great jab and constant pressure can throw all that shit off. You can't throw you ain't gonna be able to throw a whole lot of combinations on your back foot. You know what I'm saying? While you constantly on your back foot trying to weave out the way of that jab, blinding your ass every motherfucking 2 or 3 seconds. I tell you one thing, Terence Crawford better be in some goddamn shape. When that fight do happen, Terence Crawford better be in some goddamn shape. I'm gonna tell you that. Cause Errol Spence gonna be in hella shape. He better be in some goddamn shape. And if he try to fight southpaw, he gonna get his ass whooped. I'm telling you. If Terence Crawford fights southpaw versus Earl, he gonna get his ass whooped. I'm telling you. He gonna get drugged. Salute to the brother, the soulmates in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said EJ was definitely tested in the Kell Brook fight. He stuck to the game plan and beat that man down. Big facts. That man went overseas, fought the #1 rated welterweight in the world. You know, he had to fight through the trenches coming off his longest layoff at that time. You feel me? And he stuck to the game plan, even when Kell Brook was having success in the middle round. In the early part of the fight, which I had a lot of those rounds going back and forth, And then I would say like around round 6, round 7, that's when Errol started to like separate himself. But he dug deep in that fight because look, that was in Kell Brook backyard. You know what I'm saying? Sheffield, Bramall Lane. Kell Brook had his baby mamas at the fight. He had motherfuckers who went to middle school with him at the fight. You know what I'm saying? Errol coming down the tunnel and shit, they throwing chocolate brownies at him. You know what I'm saying? They booing him, talking real crazy, real greasy. Errol Spence ain't do shit but smile while he walked through the fire. Harlem shaking through the pressure. You know what I'm saying? Got to the ring, and he turned that switch on, and it was up. Got that man up out of there, won his first world title under pressure overseas. You know what I'm saying? You can't equate that to no damn Ricky Burns because Kell Brook was on a whole nother level. It's different. It's levels. But I'm just trying to tell you, like, if we want to talk about who's more mentally tested, who's more mentally strong, I'm going to give that to Errol Spence. I feel like he been in with better competition. At the time that he fought Kell Brook was better than what he was when he fought Terence Crawford. At the time when he fought Sean Porter, he said Ricky Burns. Big facts, Ricky Burns was trash as fuck. No cap. But at the time when he fought Sean Porter was better than what he just was when he fought Terence Crawford. And Sean Porter already was planning on retiring. And he was having issues with his daddy in camp and shit. I'm not making no excuses for him. I'm just saying it's two different fighters that Errol Spence fought compared to what Terence Crawford fought. I'm just saying. That's just what it is. So, and then, even though Mikey Garcia came up one weight class, he was a top 5 pound for pound fighter, and Errol Spence went out there and beat the man 12 rounds to 0. Come on now. Lamont Peterson, Chris Algieri, when Chris Algieri went 12 with Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to look at the level of competition and you look at how Errol Spence performed. He been mentally tested to a greater degree, in my opinion, than Terence Crawford has. But none of that shit matter because when they fight, we're going to have to see what it is. We're going to have to see what it is. That's why the fights happen. That's why the fights happen. You know what I'm saying? You know what, I forgot who used to say that. I don't know if it was Chris Berman on ESPN, but hey, that's why we play the game. That's why the fights happen, so we can see. But I'm telling y'all, bruh, I'm even more excited about this fight. And I'm even more confident in what I think Errol Spence gonna do to Terence Crawford. If y'all go back, look, how many of y'all seen my first video why I think Errol Spence beat Terence Crawford? The first one. If you seen that, everything I said then, I put that shit on YouTube like 2018. You know what I'm saying? Everything I said in that video is the same shit I'm saying now. And it's all playing out exactly how I said it'll play out. Come on now, we got... See, look. See, even D. Luckett ain't gonna do that. See, D. Luckett a real Terence Crawford fan. You feel me? You got dudes in here talking about Bud willing to bet $1 million. What that tell you? Bro, that's play school talk, man. That's playground and kiddie talk, man. Come on now. Bet $1 million. Bet $1 million. Like Errol Spence didn't say, I bet $1 million too, nigga. Oh shit. I bet $1 billion. Okay, drop bet $1 billion too. The fact that you hanging on to those words, that let me know that you ain't no regular Terence Crawford fan, you a super fan. That's what I'm saying. He was like, it's real people like that be in my comments talking about,
Man, Bud said he'll bet $1 million. What that tell you then?
Man, is you serious? Man, you can't be grown if you really like hanging on to those words. Come on now.
He said he'll bet $1 million. Oh, he must gonna beat Earl then. He willing to bet $1 million.
If he was gonna bet $1 million, he'd have took the 60-40. If he taking gambles like that. If Terence Crawford taking risk and gambles like that, he would have took the 60-40. Bet $1 million. Come on, man. You really hanging on to those words. Salute to the OG, Mr. Munt, back in that super chat, coming through and showing love once again. He giving y'all some game right now. He said, Bud rarely switches during the round. He switches at the beginning and remain in that stance, so he has a particular reason for doing it. I agree. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Tex Rock in the building, salute. I agree with that, you know? And I think for Terence Crawford, for what I see most of the time, you know, Terence, it depends on the opponent, but when shit hit the fan for Terence Crawford, he goes southpaw. That's his most comfortable stance. When shit ain't working for him or when shit just hit the fans, he goes southpaw. That's when he can just really just fight and be free. He's a great fighter all the way around, but when it comes to like orthodox, I think when he just like really want to box, he'll fight orthodox. But when he trying to hurt motherfuckers and when shit hit the fan, he want to fight, he go southpaw. He gonna have to fight Errol Spence orthodox. And if he do decide to switch to southpaw, he gonna get his ass whooped. I'm telling y'all now. Salute to the brother Alamane Cruz in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said one key factor people keep forgetting is Spence is back with Blu-ray. Blu-ray is gonna have Spence back on his Hulk smash game. That Shag cut Spence. Big fact. I know y'all seen Shag with the I said Shag. I know y'all seen Earl with the ducktail, and he bringing the ducktail back like Cool Boy Steph. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm a fan of Contender Regime. Hey, man, salute. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, hey, come on now. Talking about some better million. Mike Jones in the building. Come on now. Said, it still ain't 50-50 to me. Hey, look. Yeah, you saw it. Melanated royalty. Yeah. You know, he got the ducktail. He bring the ducktail back. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? That see shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I can just tell y'all, just from what I know, I could just tell y'all, like, Earl back on that shit, man. He hungry. He hungry. And if motherfuckers don't understand or don't realize, like, he hear all that shit, man, come on, bro. Earl be peeping game. He hear all that shit y'all talking about. You know, everybody switching sides on him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talking about, you know, woo this, woo that. You know, oh my God, everybody caught the vapors. Cause Terence Crawford done knocked out Sean Porter. Oh my God. Oh my God. Terence Crawford, oh my God, he's the best. He's a beast. Oh my God, he's gonna get him. He has the most power in the world. Terence Bud Crawford, he's the greatest of all time. Oh my God, he stopped Sean Porter. Errol Spence doesn't have a chance. Oh my God. All right. Oh my God, bro. Terence Crawford, he's unstoppable. He just beat Sean Porter. Said I have no doubt that Earl will be prepared for this fight. I just think this oh yeah, see Tex Rock, you know, Tex Rock always, see, that's a Terence Crawford fan. He folk with both Earl and Terence Crawford, but he think Earl gonna win. He think Terence Crawford gonna win the fight. But he'll give me like a legitimate breakdown on why he think what he think. I respect that 100%. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. Said, Bud, the beast is all true. Hey, you a wild boy, D Lucky. He said it's all true, man. You know what I'm saying? What can I say? I fuck with Bud, man. Say, man, Bud a killer, man. I love watching him fight. I love watching Terence Crawford fight just as much as I love watching Errol Spence fight. But I just, you know, and then of course, me being from Dallas, Texas, I watch closer to what Errol Spence does and what he do when he get in the ring. And I've seen him come up from an amateur to a pro, and I just know what he can do. So when people try to pretend, I don't even know if it's pretending, because, you know, maybe motherfuckers just don't know. Like, it really be a lot of people that just they really just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done seen Earl surprise people time after time after time after time after time. I done seen that man surprise too many people time after time. I remember shit, they said Earl, he didn't have no jab. He couldn't box. There was really people that was saying, like, Errol Spence can't box. He don't got no skills. They said Errol Spence was just a come forward fighter with no skills. I remember them days. I ain't forgot. I remember it was people on my channel that was saying Mikey Garcia was going to beat Earl. But then after Earl outboxed him for 12 rounds, then they say he was too little. It was people that was saying Mikey was going to beat Earl. But then after Earl outboxed him for 12 rounds, they mad at Earl because he didn't stop him. But you said Mikey was going to beat him, though. You said he was going to outbox him because Earl ain't got no skills. I done seen people change their narrative and, you know, get proven wrong time after time after time after time after time. I've been seeing this shit for years with Errol Spence. That's why, like, when motherfuckers, everybody catching the vapors on Terence Crawford now, that's cool. I want him to have fans. That only makes the fight bigger. I want Terence Crawford to have all the fans in the world. I want Terence Crawford to I want him to make $1 billion. I want him to be the biggest star, and I want him to achieve all his dreams and goals. Get all the fans. But the folks catching the vapors just off this victory, and they acting like Errol Spence ain't Errol Spence. Like, come on now. I done seen this before. And then Errol Spence go out there, he whooped Terence Crawford ass. Everybody gonna be jumping off the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna be like, oh, Terence Crawford, he was too old. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he was 34 years old. He was 35 years old. Salute to the brother, Mr. Michael NY, in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said, if Earl and Bud do fight next, when do you think the fight will be? That's a good question. I'm thinking it'll be like spring, like late spring, early summer type shit. In my opinion, that's kind of long, bro. I know they need time to promote the fight and stuff like that, but in my opinion, that shit kind of long. I would rather see them fight like anywhere between March and May at the latest. Like, the money spot, in my opinion, is like March and April. Pushing it out further than May, that's just asking for trouble. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. They said, who gun shy? Look, I don't think, did y'all watch all these people who questioning like Errol Spence skill set? Did y'all watch the Danny Garcia fight? Fresh off the accident on what turned out to be his longest layoff. His first longest layoff was versus when he went in with Kell Brook. But then he had his longest layoff after that going into the Danny Garcia fight. Did y'all watch the Danny Garcia fight? If y'all did, tell me what y'all saw. What did y'all see in that Danny Garcia fight? And I bet it was a lot of y'all motherfuckers that was saying Danny was going to land something on Earl and knock him out because Earl ain't the same. He don't got no chin no more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you this. Terence Crawford went to that fight thinking that Danny was going to do something. I bet you ain't know that, did you? Terence Crawford went to that fight thinking that Danny had a chance to win. Salute to the brother Gino White in that super chat coming through and showing love. I appreciate it, my brother. He said, keep up the work, giving good perspective and fight analysis. Styles make fights, and Bud's style is tailor-made for EJ. Just as you said, Bud better not fight EJ from a southpaw stance. Big facts. Styles make fights, man, and I love that matchup for ERROL Spence. You telling me you gonna give me a guy who is got power, got hand speed, he's a sharpshooter, but he won't sit back and wait on the perfect shot all night. That ain't gonna work with ERROL. Nah, you gotta be busy versus ERROL. You can't let ERROL Spence be first. You gotta be busy versus ERROL. Because if you let him be first, he gonna be first and he gonna whoop your motherfucking ass. Point blank, period. Salute to the OG Mr. Month back in that super chat, coming through and showing love one more time. He said, I can watch Bud fight 7 days a week. Just don't stick no microphone in his just don't stick no microphone in his face. I would rather watch. He said, I would rather watch my grass grow than listen to his interviews. Damn. Yeah, and I'm the same way though, as far as like watching him fight, fans' perspective in the building. Salute. Man, I love watching Terence Crawford fight, man. Great fighter. Great fighter. Let me see. Said he didn't look good versus Danny Garcia. What fight y'all was watching? Said, I remember that too. I remember Earl saying years ago that he have tools in the toolbox that he never had to pull out. And he proved it in the Mikey and Danny fight, but Bud is on a different level. Okay, I can agree with if you think Terence Crawford has like more tricks and, you know, the flashy shit and all that, I would agree with you. He can switch orthodox and southpaw. He has faster hands. He throws more combinations whenever he does throw his combinations. He's a very instinctive offensive fighter. Got killer instinct. I mean, if you want to just name off all of like the tools and the tricks, but that don't mean you're gonna win no fight. And I'm not debating your side, Tex Rock, because you make a great case for Terence Crawford, as do I for ERROL Spence. But my point is for everybody else who thinks just because Terence Crawford, just like Jaron Boots Ennis, just because you know, I love Jaron Ennis, and I think he gonna be the future. You know what I'm saying? But Jaron Ennis, with all those tools and skills that he got, he can go in there and get beat by a guy that's, you know, that work harder, that is stronger, that's smarter, that got a better game plan, and stylistically just match up great with him. You dig what I'm saying? So the point I'm making is that ERROL Spence, yeah, we know he got a whole lot of tools as well, but in this game of boxing, man, you know, styles make fights. Styles make fights, and I'm just telling you, the inactivity of Terence Crawford, I'm looking for one shot, that shit ain't gonna work with Earl. That shit ain't gonna work. That shit ain't gonna work. I promise it's not gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Because if he don't hurt ERROL Spence, his ass is grass. He only got a puncher's chance. People think I'm tripping when I say Terence Crawford only got a puncher's chance. Wait and see. You gonna see. Said Danny barely touched Spence. What fight were some people watching? Yeah, man. Like, I don't understand. Like, if you seen ERROL Spence versus Danny Garcia, and you didn't come away from that fight saying, "Oh my goodness, ERROL Spence's defense was amazing. Oh my goodness, ERROL Spence's jab was fantastic. Oh my, the pressure that he put on Danny Garcia, with Danny Garcia being a counterpuncher, you know, great counterpunchers, you don't want to go forward on them and put a high level amount of pressure on them because that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? But ERROL Spence put an immense amount of pressure on Danny Garcia from round 1 to round 12, and he never let him get set. He never let Danny Garcia get comfortable. He had a jab in his face all night, and when Danny did throw the no-look left hook and the crazy-ass overhand right, ERROL Spence was ready. ERROL Spence head movement Errol Spence coming forward with head movement and countering was fantastic in that fight. That was one of the sharpest I ever seen Errol on defense. Now, I felt like his offense could have been a lot sharper, but again, ring rust, coming off the accident, being out the ring for a while. But I mean, he was in that bitch, and he had Danny face looking like he broke out in acne or something. You know what I'm saying? Like he done had a major breakout or some shit. Had Danny face all knotted up. And that was him putting immense pressure on Danny behind an educated jab. I mean, he might have threw 4 or 5 different variations of the jab that night. He had to have thrown at least 4 or 5 different variations of the jab that night. Y'all heard Errol Spence after the fight. He said Lennox Lewis would have been proud of me the way I used my jab tonight. Y'all don't think that? Hey, go back and watch my video. I got a video called Errol Spence Jr. Skill. It's like Errol Spence Jr. Skill is criminally underrated. That was right after the Danny Garcia fight. Man, say, if motherfuckers watched that fight and you didn't come away thinking all the shit that I thought, yeah, Danny hit Earl after the bell and Earl wiped that shit off. Man, Bud Crawford went to that fight because he thought Danny was going to do something. He thought Danny had a chance. Come on, man. That was a beautiful performance. And now you're going to get an even sharper Errol Spence. Back with Blu-ray. Salute to the brother, the great SB, and that super chat coming through and showing love. I appreciate it, man. He said you won't beat Earl without a consistent jab. I also noticed that when Crawford goes southpaw, he only throws the left uppercut and the right hook. Big facts. And I'm glad you brought that up, brother. That's a great point. When Terence Crawford, and that's why I said earlier, when Terence Crawford goes southpaw, he ain't really looking to box. That's why he be giving up rounds. He looking to land some shit. He want to fight. When he goes southpaw, he looking for power punches. And a lot of times it worked for him. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't never fought nobody like Earl. He ain't never fought nobody that's going to be able to keep that rhythm off. Sean Porter was doing a good job of disrupting his rhythm early in that fight until Bud got his timing down. But again, Sean Porter, like his reach, like what? What's Sean Porter reach? Like 67? You know what I'm saying? Like 67, 68? Errol Spence shit 72. So though Crawford shit is listed at 74, which I think is more so 73. But let's say it is 74. Errol Spence gonna have a way easier time landing his jab than Sean Porter did. Kell Brook's reach is shorter than Errol Spence, and Kell Brook, before Terence Crawford switched to southpaw, because Kell Brook is an orthodox fighter, Kell Brook was beating Terence Crawford with the jab. He was beating him to the punch with the jab. Even though Crawford got longer reach, Kell Brook's jab was getting to Terence Crawford before Crawford's jab was getting to Kell Brook. Y'all didn't see them first 2 rounds? Why you think Terence Crawford switched to southpaw? Because in an orthodox stance, when Terence Crawford is mirroring a guy that has a great jab, you can get your jab off on him. Which is why if he fights Errol Spence southpaw and he mirrors Errol Spence, that jab is gonna line up right down the middle. It's gonna get right to his face, and he gonna get there. Errol Spence gonna get his jab there before Terence Crawford get his jab to Errol Spence. I promise you. Salute to the brother Devin Blocker in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said even Danny said Spence's jab was way better than he thought. Danny's face looked like hamburger meat. Danny's pops was mad at the praise Danny was giving Spence. Yeah, and look, Danny couldn't help it. He couldn't help it. Because he knew what he seen in her. He knew what he seen. The two things that I heard Danny Garcia say was Errol Spence is the most physically strong out of all the dudes that he fought, and Errol Spence's jab was the best jab that he had faced in the ring. His jab was way better than what he thought it was. And those two things are glaring strengths for Errol Spence, especially going into a Terence Crawford fight. I'm trying to tell y'all, look, man. All that rhythm and timing and shit, that hand speed everybody talking about, that jab that's the antidote right there. It's the most simplest thing, but it's the most effective. It's the most effective. Said Errol Spence gonna break Crawford down so bad, Omaha, Nebraska fan, boys and girls are gonna say he cheated. Man, I can't wait for that fight. It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good. Said we keep skipping over the fact that Bud learned how to time that jab of both Brook and Porter and was able to counter. Oh yeah, big facts. He did. He did, but neither one of them was southpaws and neither one of them had a jab like Errol Spence. That's a difference. And he fought both of them in southpaw in his most comfortable stance because they are orthodox fighters. It's not going to be the case with Errol Spence. So think about it. You got a guy, Errol Spence, reach both longer than theirs. And this guy's a southpaw, and he got a better jab than theirs. And on top of that, Errol Spence's work rate is better than theirs. Errol Spence is just a better fighter. That's why you can't compare. You literally can't compare. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell. Shout out to the brother Vigilante Kato. That's what I'm trying to tell him, bro. That jab gonna offset all that shit, man. I can't wait, bro. Like this shit, man. This shit is like waiting on Christmas or something. Said all that footwork and hand tricks don't matter when Earl cutting that ring off. Facts. See, Earl will make you fight when you don't want to fight. You know what I'm saying? Earl will make you fight when you don't want to fight. Said Boots #2 in the IBL. Spence need to come off that belt. Boots need to fight somebody to get in a mandatory position. That's what he need to do if he want to fight for a title. To be honest with you. We could say shit, you can say Boots #1 if you want to. You know, if you just looking at film, you can say that. I respect that. That shit don't mean nothing because he not finna fight neither one of these dudes. Talking about everybody ducking him. Blair Cobbs ain't ducking him. Blair Cobbs said he want the smoke. Salute to the brother D Luckett in that super chat. He said, hey, hit that like button. It's simple to do. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all heard the man. Y'all heard that, brother. He said hit that like button, man. Come on now. Hey, Brian Nawabara. I hope I said your name right. Hey, Blair Cobbs want it. Blair Cobbs said he want all the smoke with Boots. Go fight him. Said Blair was running out the ring when Boots was 17. Hey, man, I don't know nothing about that, but I seen a video where Blair Cobbs pulled up on him. He said he want the smoke, so go fight him. He said, now they said Spence Now they saying Spence scared of Boots. Now they saying Errol Spence scared of Boots. Boy, y'all. Hey, boy, they pulling motherfuckers out the woodworks. Hey. God damn. Now Spence scared of Boots. Boots ain't had not one mandatory, he ain't had not one title eliminator yet. That man ain't had one title eliminator yet, but he's scared of Boots. He said Spence, hold on. He said the Spence fans are scared of Boots, but Crawford fans want to smoke with Boots. All right, so how come on here no Terence Crawford fans asking for the Boots fight? They all talking about Errol Spence. Answer me that. What's that boy name? Let me see. Hey, Craig. Hey, look. Let me ask you this, Craig. How come all the Terence Crawford fans in here talking about Errol Spence? I ain't heard y'all asking for no Boots fight. Hold on. Anton Young said, we want true fights. But what's a true fight? Old boy said y'all want the Boots fight. So why y'all ain't trying to get Boots? How come y'all ain't, why Terence Crawford ain't offer Boots no title shot? Craig, come here, man. Craig, where you at? I ain't seen you say nothing since then. Anton Young, since Craig ain't here, then I want you to speak on behalf of the Terence Crawford fans then. Why Terence Crawford ain't offered Boots no fight for the title? He said y'all want Boots. Y'all don't want Earl, y'all want Boots. Said Anton Young from Omaha, Nebraska. Anton Young. I need somebody to answer this for me. Do y'all want to fight? Y'all want Earl or y'all want Boots? Which one y'all want? Cause he said y'all want Boots. So I'm trying to figure it out. We in here talking about Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. Said EJ the better fighter and more money. There you go. That ain't what they said. Shout out to Lala D in the building. Appreciate you for coming through. Hey, that ain't what Craig just said. Hold on. But Craig, that ain't what Craig said though. Craig just said that Errol Spence fans, they don't want Boots, but Terence Crawford fans, they want Boots. So you saying Terence Crawford wants to smoke with Boots? Why he haven't offered? You know, Boots will take that right now. Why he ain't offer Boots no title shot? I just want to see, like, is we speaking facts? We keeping it 100, or I mean, what we doing? Okay, yeah, they don't want Boots. They just talking. Okay, all right, bet. Hey, salute, Gerard Loga. All right, appreciate you, bro. Somebody came in here with the voice of reason. They just talking. They don't want no Boots. Salute to the brother Big Tex 33 in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said Bud fans just be saying anything. Exactly. Bro, you know what? I've been on this channel supporting Terence Crawford heavy. I've been on this channel supporting Terence Crawford, showing him major love. You know what I'm saying? You know, like a real motherfucker do, because I want to see that brother win. And look, I ain't never seen this many Terence Crawford fans on my channel. Like, where y'all been at this whole time? Where y'all been? Bruh, I ain't seeing y'all over here. Baby Juju, Bro, where you been, bro? I ain't never seen you around here. Why? How come Terence Crawford just did 190,000? Really, they saying it's 140,000. Why y'all didn't buy the pay-per-view? Why y'all didn't buy the pay-per-view? Why y'all didn't buy his American pay-per-view? It was 130, yeah, 130,000. So Errol Spence did 350 with Sean, but Terence Crawford, he do 130 with Sean. Why y'all didn't buy the pay-per-view then? Since y'all such Terence Crawford fans, I bought it. Why y'all didn't buy it? Remember, I made a video. I said, look, this an opportunity for Terence Crawford fans to stand up. This a chance for y'all to show me something. I want to see if y'all gonna support the fight. Baby Juju said, I buy all the fights. Okay, I respect that. I respect the salute. But I'm just saying, because I ain't, this is the first time I'm seeing a lot of y'all, bruh. And I've been supporting Terence Crawford the whole time. In more ways than one. But this is the first time I'm really seeing a lot of y'all. So I'm like, where y'all been this whole time? Said the app excuse is valid. Man, cut it out. Y'all be the same ones that be downloading the zone and shit. Man, cut it out. Y'all probably got the zone. hey, Vigilante Kato said Crawford fans cheaper than Bob Arum. Oh, man, I got Bud fans. They trying to throw boots on Earl. You know what I'm saying? They try. Damn. Come on, man. Where y'all been at this whole time? Boys came out in droves. I love it though. Like I said, shit, I want Bud. I want his brand to continue to grow. I want that notoriety to go crazy. That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? Bud fan, boy, y'all say anything, man. But I don't want to just put all y'all in a box, because like I said, it's real Terence Crawford fans out there like D Lucky, like Tex Rock, like me. You know what I'm saying? There's real Terence Crawford fans out there that be speaking some real shit. But then there's a lot of y'all that be in here talking about, Errol Spence fan, he don't want to fight Boots. But Terence Crawford fans, we want the Boots fight. Well then why he ain't? I ain't never heard Terence Crawford call out Boots. Naam Ali, salute to you. Said the Porter win gave him confidence. Oh, that's what it is. That Sean Porter win gave him confidence. Okay. Said Bud has better feet. Tell me I'm lying. It depends on what you're looking at. If you're talking about back foot game, I'll get at the Terence Crawford. But if you're talking about leverage and pivot game, I'm giving that to Errol Spence. See, you gotta look at it from all angles and all standpoints. When you're talking about feet, you're talking about boxing off of the back foot, being able to throw punches while going backwards, or are you talking about distance control, leverage, and pivot? Because I don't see nobody at welterweight with a better pivot game than Errol Spence. You'd be hard-pressed to find anybody in boxing that got a better pivot game than Errol Spence Jr. Why you think he always in position to throw a hard shot? He's never out of position when he want to throw a hard shot. That's why he gets such great leverage on his shots. That's why his distance control is always damn near perfect, where he can hit you and get out the way and still come back with some shit. Salute to my brother Big Tex 33 back in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said with numbers like that, Bud better take whatever EJ offer. They really looking at a 70-30 split if they being real. Hey, for real. If he really want to fight, if he talking about bet $1 million, he talking about bet $1 million. You know what I'm saying? You know, he'll do this, he'll take this. I had somebody on the look. If y'all ain't following the Instagram, make sure y'all following the Instagram Contender Regime Boxing on Instagram. It's the same name on the YouTube. Man, I had somebody on the Instagram tell me Terence Crawford to fight Earl for free. Real shit. I'm not even, look, I'll post that shit in the community. I'm not even bullshitting with y'all. I had a Terence Crawford fan that told me Terence Crawford to fight Earl for free. Boy, y'all just be saying anything. Whole time, I'm like, well then why he ain't take the 60-40 then? Yeah, I had somebody on, you can go check the Instagram right now. Motherfucker said Terence Crawford to fight ERROL SPENCE for free. Yeah, that shit blew my mind. I'm like, man, y'all say anything, don't you? Said Terence is a beast, Earl is the beast killer. Yeah, man. Hey, Earl is the man that you call to go get him. Said that's a radical fan. Hey, Stephen Panfield, it's a lot of them out here. I'm trying to tell you, bro. It's a lot of them out here. It's a lot of them out here, man. Yeah, ERROL Spence the man you call on the boogeyman. He the one you call. Boogeyman out here causing all type of ruckus, kicking up dust, disturbing the peace. ERROL Spence the one you call to go get him. Said Earl gave Danny 45%, gave Sean 50, and gave Mikey 50. That's a lie. Go back and look at the money. Mikey didn't make the same as Earl made. Sean didn't make the same as Earl made. And Danny damn sure ain't make the same as Earl made. Go look at the money. And I don't even want to talk about the whole money shit. That ain't even what I'm up here to talk about. But what you just said, that's a bold-faced lie. That's a bold-faced lie. Go look at the money. Pull up the purses and then pull up the back end too and tell me what they made. Pull up the back end with the pay-per-view numbers and tell me who made the most. Said you fanboys on crack if you think Spence is ducking. You people don't know the level Spence is on. Hey, man. See see, look, but that's why this fight is so big. This shit really starting. It ain't on that level like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. It ain't there because these guys ain't done what Floyd and what Manny did, and they not the global stars that those guys was. But the way the fan base is acting, and I'm not trying to like point no fingers or nothing, but the way, cause Terence Crawford fans reminded me of like how Manny Pacquiao fans was. And y'all remember I said Manny Pacquiao fans, and I still stand on this. Manny Pacquiao got the most toxic fan base in boxing. Now, it's a couple of people in the running for that. You know, Canelo, Joe Hewitt in the building, salute. Terence Crawford fans, y'all getting up. Boy, after that Sean Porter win, man, Manny Pacquiao, y'all acting just like Manny Pacquiao fans, for real. Remember when all the Manny Pacquiao fans was like, oh, he gonna knock out Floyd. Oh, man, you know, Manny, he the boogeyman. Everybody ducking Manny. Man, Floyd don't want no smoke. He ducking. Man, Manny's so fast. He got power. He got speed. He got footwork. Then what happened when he get in the ring? This is what this shit reminded me of. This shit for real. Said then they canceled they channel. On God, on me. They did. Look, a lot of them people that was saying Manny was gonna whoop Floyd, they channel gone. I couldn't even find they shit no more because they built for 5 years, they built their whole life around Manny Pacquiao beating Floyd. Their whole life. They built everything was built up on Manny Pacquiao beating Floyd. Then they tell you watch the fight in slow motion. Man, you gotta be shitting me. Look at him. Floyd took illegal IV. Uh-oh. Oh, you see what I'm saying? See, bruh, y'all gotta change y'all identity real, fast. Man, look. Y'all don't want to go down the same route that the Manny Pacquiao fans went down. Y'all gotta change y'all identity fast. Hold on. I'm gonna give you a good example. How many of y'all remember that video I made when I said, why would Terence Crawford duck Manny Pacquiao? When everybody was saying Terence Crawford duck Manny Pacquiao, I was one of the only people on here defending Terence Crawford. I was one of the only ones defending Terence Crawford. I made a video. I'm like, hell no, Terence Crawford ain't ducking Manny Pacquiao. He would have beat the shit out of Manny Pacquiao. I knew that, but a lot of y'all didn't know that. A lot of these Manny Pacquiao fans, they didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't want to go down that same route. Because when Terence Crawford get in the ring with Earl, and Earl put the Dr. Dre beats on him, all y'all gonna delete y'all account. You know what I'm saying? You gonna say Terence Crawford was too old. You gonna say he was too small. You gonna say Errol Spence took an illegal IV. You gonna tell me to watch the fight in slow motion. Jeez. Get a load of this. Look, bro, I know y'all remember that shit. I was the only one on here defending Terence Crawford. I was telling y'all, I'm like, bro, Terence Crawford would have beat the brakes off of Manny Pacquiao. Why the fuck would he duck Manny Pacquiao? That whole stream was like, yeah, man, you know, he ducked Manny. Yeah, Manny got Earl and Crawford scared. Man. Boy, y'all fans be saying anything. Sheldon Moore in the building said, contender, you must admit, big bro, why are you, he said, you are from Texas, you're a bit biased. I am biased in my support and what I want to see Errol Spence accomplish, but I'm not going to lie to y'all because look, I can't get in front of this camera and lie to y'all and say shit that I don't believe because then I'm lying to myself. So yes, I'm biased. Yes, I'm from Texas. Yes, I'm rooting for Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. I am. But have I not given y'all logical breakdowns and analysis? Like, tell me why I'm wrong. Now, of course, it's a matter of opinion who you think gonna win. Like, nobody knows who gonna win a fight until they actually fight, right? So it's all subjective, right? So, I mean, all this shit is a matter of hearsay and speculation and opinion and, you know, who you think gonna do this and why you think this gonna go. All this shit is in a matter of opinion, right? But haven't I not given you logical breakdowns and analysis? I'm like, when I tell you I think Errol Spence gonna beat Terence Crawford, I tell you the things that Terence Crawford do great, and then I tell you what I think Errol Spence do great. Then I tell you how I think the styles match up and why I favor Errol Spence. I am biased though. You know, I support Errol Spence. I'm biased. Y'all know who I support on this channel. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I can't get up here and just say no bullshit and lie to y'all because I'm lying to myself. Shit, I be liking to watch these streams back myself, you know, and then see how y'all engaging in the chat. Sometimes I be missing some of the, you know, the conversations that be going on and shit, man, y'all be talking some good boxing and shit. I be like, you know, and if I'm listening, I can't be saying no bullshit. I'm be like, hell no, I gotta take this shit down. I can't get on here and say no bullshit. I'm keeping it 100 with you. Big facts. Yeah, if Terence Crawford win, I'm gonna give him all respect. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give him all respect, just like I gave him credit and respect with the Sean Porter win. I'm gonna give him, look, if I'm wrong, I don't have no problem coming on here and saying I'm wrong. You feel me? Y'all know I'm a huge Deontay Wilder fan. And when it came to D-Lo 404 boxing, salute to you, my brother. What's good? When it came to Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, I was biased for Deontay Wilder. But when Fury won, I gave him credit. I wanted Deontay Wilder to win, but I gave Fury credit. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it. I ain't gonna get up here and lie and just say no bullshit and lie to myself. Said, so if Bud stopped Spence but was down on the scorecards, would you say Spence is still the better fighter? No, because whoever win that fight is gonna determine who the better fighter. If Terence Crawford's game plan was to go in there and set Earl up for a kill shot, and he actually gets Errol Spence to run into that shit and he lands it, then that's his game plan and he need to get all the credit for it. Just like how I gave Deontay Wilder all the credit for his wins. Because when he beat Luis Ortiz the second time, Luis Ortiz was outboxing him the whole fight. But then he ran Luis Ortiz into a shot, knocked his ass clean out. Deontay Wilder is the better fighter. So if Terence Crawford do the same shit with Errol Spence, I'm going to give him the credit. I'm not going to take nothing away from him. You know? I don't have nothing against Terence Crawford at all. I have nothing, you know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing against him. I want to see him do great. I just want Errol Spence to beat him. I want Errol Spence to beat everybody. You know what I'm saying? Period. Savard Thomas in the building. Salute. What's good? Said cars are moot once someone gets stopped. Big facts. Like looking for a moral victory. Nah, we ain't doing that over here. If you get stopped, you get stopped. You know what I'm saying? If you get stopped, you get stopped. A lot of people had, they were saying that Kell Brook was beating Errol Spence, even though I scored that fight differently. I had it neck and neck in the first 6 rounds, but then after that, Errol Spence took over. But shit, it don't matter because Errol Spence stopped him. If you get stopped, you get stopped. Kell Brook was, Amir Khan was outboxing Canelo. I had Amir Khan up in that Canelo fight. He got stopped. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna take no credit away because some fighters, you know, there's different game. Number one, there's different styles. And I'm a believer in styles make fights. I know that's the most cliche thing to say in boxing, but that shit real. I believe that styles make fights. But at the same time, I understand that guys have certain game plans and strategies that they use for certain guys. You might think this particular opponent is more susceptible to a left hook. Or you might think this particular opponent is more prone to getting hit with the straight right hand. So you've been working in camp the whole time. You like, ooh, if I can just line him up for this, I know I got power. If I can just line him up with this right hand, I'm willing to sacrifice rounds just to get his timing down and just see if I can land that right hand and you knock him out. You got to get credit for that because you concocted that game plan. You came up with that You know what I'm saying? And you actually went out there and executed that shit. So you got to get credit for it. Said Porter style is more difficult than Spence for Crawford to figure out. Absolutely not. You crazy. No disrespect. No disrespect, but that's crazy. That's crazy talk. Boxing in the building. Salute. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely nuts. Salute to my brother G Mays in the building. Say I got Spence by TKO. Yeah, man, I can see. I'm gonna tell you, as far as like, I'll do a prediction on that shit once it's actually made. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like how I see it going, I think Earl can stop him. I think Earl can win on the cards. You know what I'm saying? I can see Earl just overwhelming Terence Crawford. You know, just overwhelming him. And a lot of that, I think we'll find out how that fight gonna go within like the first 3 rounds. We gonna find out how that fight gonna go. If Crawford lands some halfway decent on Spence and Earl eat that shit, it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a long night. It's gonna be a long night. He gonna get chopped down. That's just how I see it. You know? I think with Earl being in tougher fights, you know, he's just more battle tested, man. You know? But we'll see. We'll see how it go. What the brother said. Said, you riding for Earl like I'm riding for Boots. And cool, boy, I'm from Philly. I'm born and raised, so I'm a little biased. Yeah, bro. And that's what I be saying. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with being biased and having certain guys that you root for. That's what, you know, being a fan of the sport. That's what it's all about. But at the same time, when it comes to giving like a breakdown or actually having, you know, an objective conversation on what you think might happen and why, that's where you got to bring the logic. You know what I'm saying? Christopher Russell in the building, salute, said Earl's inside game is superior. I totally agree. I don't think Bud want to fuck with Earl on the inside. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Bud can fuck with Errol Spence on the inside. Chest to chest, I don't think he can fuck with Earl. I just don't. But, you know, when it comes to breaking these fights down, you know, you got to have some logic behind it. If you tell me you think this gonna happen, well, you got to tell me why. Because if I tell you, when I tell you I think Earl gonna beat Bud, I don't just say he gonna whip his ass just cause. I tell you why I think that. You know? But we'll see what happens. You feel me? We'll see what happens. You know? But I've been down this road before. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I've been down this road before. I've been down this road where it's like, it's one guy lifted up, and then there's another guy who, you know, a lot of people just, they don't like this fighter, so they want to bring up this guy and make him seem like, you know, he's the guy that's gonna save the day type shit. And I seen them motherfuckers get let down too many times. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. You know? All I want to tell y'all, look, before I get off of here, I just want to reiterate this. That's another thing. They don't understand how versatile Errol Spence is, bro. Motherfuckers think he just some machine. Like, motherfuckers act like Errol Spence just some brainless machine that just come forward and just, that's all. You know what I'm saying? No, man. There's way more layers to this guy's game. Way more layers. And you gonna find that out when Terence Crawford do turn it up in that fight, and he will. You gonna see Errol Spence turn that motherfucker up too. and we gonna see who the realest. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they gotta play Southside the realest in that bitch too. You feel me? They gotta play Southside the realest. I think Earl is the better boxer too. I think Terence Crawford has more tools, but that don't mean he's a better boxer. That's another thing that people get misconstrued. I think Errol Spence is more fundamentally sound than Terence Crawford. But I could tell y'all that shit till I'm blue in the face. We still got to see the fight. Point blank, period. But I want to say this, though. Don't look, Terence Crawford fans, don't go down the same path as Manny Pacquiao fans. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. You want to leave, you know what I'm saying, leave it open for you to still be able to show your face afterwards. Now, you know, Manny Pacquiao fans said that motherfucker got knocked out 6-7 times and they still pulling up. They don't care. You know, Manny Pacquiao fans, they pulling up no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao get knocked out 30 times. He get a big fight. Oh, Manny Pacquiao, oh my God, he's the greatest. Oh my God, you never know what you're gonna get. But look, I'ma just say this. Said who you think better at adjusting on the fly? That's another thing. I think both of them are great at making adjustments. See, with Terence Crawford, his biggest adjustment is switching from southpaw to orthodox. But outside of that, the only thing he really does is just raise up the level of intensity. You know what I'm saying? That's really what he does. He'll either go from orthodox boxing and then he'll turn to southpaw and just fight, or he'll turn from southpaw from a brawling perspective and say, let me just box from orthodox. That's really the only major adjustment that he make. Outside of that, he just raised up the level of intensity. But Errol Spence can beat you in so many ways. And it's hard for you to beat Errol Spence on the cards. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for you to win rounds on Errol Spence. That's why I think you're going to have the most difficult. That's why I think Terence Crawford going to have the most difficulty. His only chance to win is a puncher's chance. That's it. He can only win by knockout. He cannot win on a decision. That's why I keep trying to tell people, but they never gonna get that shit until the fight happen. But, you know, Terence Crawford fans, look, don't turn into Manny Pacquiao fans. Because I still got them number one as the most toxic fans in boxing. And the way y'all acting right now, you know what I'm saying? Man, I had Terence Crawford, not the real Terence Crawford fans. I'm talking about, you know, the toxic ones. Man, I had people saying all type of shit, man, after that Sean Porter win. Just toxicity. Reaching new levels. You know. Extreme toxicity. Unbelievable amounts of toxicity. Isaiah Matthews in the building. Salute said that first knockdown in the Crawford versus Porter fight, I could have caught Sean with that uppercut. I don't even box. Hey, for real though. You know, Sean was running in that bitch head down, you know, but Crawford, he was throwing that bitch and he was doing the same shit the whole fight. See, you can't do that with Earl. Earl, he gonna make an adjustment. You can't do that with Earl. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence see you throwing that same punch the whole night, man, he gonna make an adjustment. He gonna get on your ass. He said, rice eater. I ain't even gonna say nothing crazy. But, all right, rice eater. So you said, but Spence couldn't do it. All right. So Manny Pacquiao stopped De La Hoya. And Manny Pacquiao stopped Cotto. Floyd Mayweather didn't. But who won the fight? Rice Eater, respond to that. Rice Eater, tell me why Tell me what. Oh, he done popped up in. No, hold on. Salute to Rice Eater 79. Rice Eater. He said, Earl adjusted to Porter by getting a split decision. Hey, Rice Eater, where he at? Hold on. Nah, I need you to respond to what I said. So look, Rice Eater. All right. So Manny Pacquiao stopped Oscar De La Hoya, and Manny Pacquiao stopped Cotto. But Floyd Mayweather didn't stop them. But who won the fight? Why Floyd beat Manny Pacquiao, who stopped two guys that he didn't stop? Stephen Pamphile said, I fuck with Rice Eater. Now, Floyd stopped Haddon. But Manny Pacquiao stopped him in better fashion. Remember, look, Floyd stopped Haddon too, but Manny Pacquiao stopped him in like 2 rounds, right? It was like 2 or 3 rounds, right? But hold on. No, Anton. Come on. Help y'all boy Rice Eater out, because he's speaking on behalf of y'all. Hey, help your boy out, Rice Eater. Anton, help your boy out. Y'all come to his aid, because I need to know this. So how come Manny Pacquiao stopped Cotto and he stopped Oscar De La Hoya, but Floyd beat Oscar De La Hoya by a split decision? A very close and competitive fight. Floyd beat Oscar De La Hoya by split decision. And he had a tough fight with Cotto. The first time you ever seen, well, that's not the first time, because if you watch Floyd versus Emmanuel Augustus and Corley, you know, he had his nose bleed. He had his nose bleed in the amateurs, in the Olympics too. But versus Cotto was the first time in a long time you seen Floyd nose bleed. But why did Floyd beat Manny, but Manny stopped them guys? Rice Eater, where you at? And Anton, you got help your boy out. Help your boy out. I need y'all to explain this to me. Hold on. Explain this to me. Oh, he said, man, that's Floyd. ESJ ain't Floyd. It's the same concept. If you telling me that Terence Crawford is going to beat Errol Spence because he stopped Sean Porter, and Errol Spence knocked Sean Porter down, but he didn't stop him. He won a close competitive fight, which if you watch the 2 different fights, the stylistic matchup is completely different. They fought 2 totally different fights. So explain to me how Crawford stopping Sean Porter means he gonna beat Errol Spence when that's not the case in the history of boxing. Because the styles are different. You gotta see, and that's why I always say, when you look at the fact that that's a cliche, people just like the shit thrown around so much, people don't even respect it. They don't take heed to it, but it's blatant, it's right in your face. It's the truth. When you put 2 styles together and then you put one of them styles with another style, you gonna get 2 totally, completely different fights. You gonna get 2 fights that they gonna look foreign to each other. Because styles make fights. Salute to the brother, the OG Mr. Monk, back in that super chat again. He said 3 names: Mosley, Forrest, Mayorga. There you go. If y'all don't know y'all history on them 3 names, go do your research. Because all them dudes got wins and losses mismatching because styles make fights. Hold on, I'm still waiting to hear from Rice Eater. I still want to hear what Rice Eater got to say. Said, no, concept only works if someone can carry out the... No, you not making sense. You can't tell me because Terrence Crawford stopped Sean Porter that he gonna do that to ERROL Spence because ERROL Spence didn't stop Sean Porter. It don't make sense. I just gave you multiple examples. The OG Mr. Munt just gave you multiple examples. Y'all keep trying to use the triangle theory. I'm telling you, bro, that shit do not work in boxing. It just don't work, bro. It just do not work. Uh-oh. Rice Eater back. Rice Eater 79 in Super Chat. He said, have you ever boxed, bro? I'm actually a pressure inside fighter like Spence. Was on Spence's team until Spence showed he ain't it against Mikey 135 pounder. Huh? That don't make sense. Now you sound like you scoring. Hold on. So he said, I'm actually a pressure inside fighter like Spence. Was on Spence's team until Spence showed he ain't it against Mikey. Hold on. Hold on now. Now, do that make sense to y'all? Come on now. So you telling me because ERROL Spence showed you a different level of his game, he showed you some different tools, he showed you that I can use my distance and box from the outside versus a guy who was considered top 5 pound for pound, you saying that he lost points with you because he beat a top 5 pound for pound fighter 12 rounds to 0? And that he lost points for that? Oh my God. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, y'all, see, I told y'all, bruh, these fans be saying the craziest stuff, bruh. Salute to the brother D Lucky back in that super chat. He said, I can say that Porter has a better chin than ERROL. Ooh. How can you say that, though? I don't know about that, D Lucky. I don't know about that. Have any of y'all ever seen ERROL Spence hit the canvas? I never seen ERROL down. I seen Terence Crawford go down. And I seen him hurt by a 126 pounder in Gamboa. I seen Sean Porter go down versus Adrian Broner, who is a 130 pounder. I seen Sean Porter get knocked down by ERROL Spence. I seen Sean Porter get buzzed by Keith Thurman. And he got buzzed by Kell Brook. And he just got stopped by Terence Crawford. But I never seen ERROL Spence go down. I seen ERROL Spence get buzzed by Emmanuel Larte. Good shot. Recovered quickly. But I never seen him go down. I seen him take good, solid shots from decent shots from Danny Garcia, Kell Brook, Lamont Peterson. Mikey Garcia made her hit him a little bit, not much. Sean Porter hit him clean a lot in that fight. I seen Terence Crawford buzz a little bit in that Sean Porter fight. Y'all can't tell me y'all done seen Sean Porter a little rocked. I mean, Terence Crawford, like he was getting hit. He seemed like he was starting to hold when he was getting rocked a little bit. Maybe I don't know. I seen him getting a little rocked a little bit. But I never seen Errol Spence go down. So how Shawn Porter got a better chin? I didn't see Spence hurt one time in the Shawn Porter fight, bro. Stop lying. Just because he catch a man clean, he didn't rock no damn Errol Spence. He just hit him clean with some shots. Errol Spence ate them bitches like Scooby Snack. He ate them bitches like Scooby Snacks. See, hold on. Now, I just wanna put this out there. So everybody was just here witnessing people saying that I'm biased for Errol Spence, right? And I admit that I am biased, right? Never denied that. However, y'all see how I just refuted all that shit. I just came back with facts and logic and real shit. You feel me? Like when I say something, I'm coming back. I'm giving you like the history. I'm giving you real facts, like real shit. So I might be biased, but I ain't gonna lie to myself. Because if I lie to y'all, I'm lying to me. He said I stated my opinion. It's a fact that Errol Spence never been down. It's a fact that Shawn Porter and Terence Crawford have both been on the canvas. Tell me where I lied. Yes, I am. I'm biased. I am biased. I'm from Texas. I'm from Dallas, Texas. And I'm rocking with Errol Spence no matter what. Period. Win, lose, or draw. But I'm going to keep it 100, though. If you ask me if I think Errol Spence going to beat Deontay Wilder, I'm going to say hell no. I'm going to say hell no. I'm not finna lie to my damn self. Just because I'm more of a fan of one guy than the other one, I still gotta tell the truth. If you ask me, do I think Errol Spence could have beat Mike Tyson? I'm going to say hell no. I ain't biased for Mike Tyson. I'm a fan, but I'm biased with Errol Spence and the Charlo brothers. You know what I'm saying? And Deontay Wilder. I'm biased with Terence Crawford too. You put Terence Crawford in there with somebody that ain't black, I'm rooting for Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Put Terence Crawford in there with anybody that ain't black, and you see who I'm going for. I would admit that I'm biased in that situation, but I ain't gonna tell no lie. I'm gonna still tell you the truth. Salute to the brother Phil J508 in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said Earl got cracked after the bell by Danny and wiped that shit out. Big facts. It wasn't nothing to him. Scooby Snacks. He like, bro, is you serious, bro? This shit ain't nothing. Bro, I been did this. This shit ain't nothing. Oh God, he switched to Southpaw on Earl. He getting walked down. I'm trying to tell you something. He said Porter didn't rock Spence. That's not facts. That's your opinion. Man, all right. You can say, all right, just like how I said I felt like Porter rocked Terence Crawford. That's my opinion. It ain't a fact. But it's a fact that Terence Crawford been on the canvas. And it's a fact that Sean Porter been on the canvas. And it's also a fact that Errol Spence ain't been on the canvas. Facts. Said I got Earl over the smaller Charlo, but I doubt it would ever happen. I got mixed feelings about that fight. Hey Craig, man, get out my ass, man. Craig in here Craig in here going crazy, man. You mixing facts with lies. You deceiving the people. I think I got mixed feelings about Charlo and Errol Spence. I got mixed feelings about that. You know what I'm saying? Craig said you mixing it up. Craig said you mixing it up. Nah, man, Craig is just you know, he blinded. He hypnotized with hatred. Like Boots said. He hypnotized with hatred. And he blinded by his fandom for Terence Crawford. And that's okay. That's okay. I mean, don't go too far over the edge. You still got to be logical about this. You know, Craig is the same one. Was that Rice Eater or was that Craig talking about they was a boxer and a pressure fighter like Earl? I don't know. It was one of them that said that. But yeah, man, Craig in here just talking shit, man. Said, what are the strongest punchers? The strongest punchers that Crawford and Spence been in with? Like one punch power for Crawford. The strong, and you gotta take into consideration at the time that they fought these guys too. Because I think when Earl fought Kell Brook, he was a lot stronger than when he fought Terence Crawford. Because if you saw Kell Brook at the weigh-in, he looked like he was mummified. You know what I'm saying? He looked like they pulled him out the grave or something. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker looked mummified or something. But that's a good question. I think shit, Crawford, it might have been either Gamboa or Mean Machine. For Earl, I'll say Danny. I'll say out of Danny and Kell. Larte hit hard too. You know what I'm saying? At the time, and look, a lot of people don't realize, or either they do, they just overlook the fact that when Errol Spence fought Emmanuel Lardy, who was a southpaw, you know what I'm saying, who has a great jab and a way better jab than Terence Crawford. Yes, Terence Crawford don't use his jab like he could or like he should. But that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? See, I break this shit down for y'all. I don't just be talking. But a lot of people just gloss over the fact that when Earl fought Lardy, he was 8-0. Lardy was 16-0. You know what I'm saying? Earl fought this man in his 8th fight. It was his 9th fight. He was 8-0. Lardy was 16-0. He had double the fights of Errol Spence, and he was undefeated. And that was his first southpaw. And he got hit with a good shot. But Lardy's jab in that fight was phenomenal. If Bud want to fight Earl out of southpaw, he better have, and Lardy was a real southpaw. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't one of these makeshift southpaws that only fight one way out of the southpaw stands. He do everything out the southpaw stands. When Terence Crawford fights southpaw, he only looking to do one thing. He trying to finish you. You know what I'm saying? He trying to finish you. He ain't trying to box. He looking for power shots. That's what Terence Crawford do when he's south. When he want to box, he fight orthodox. When he's trying to fight, he fighting southpaw. Lardy was a real southpaw with a great jab. And he was 16-0. Errol Spence only had 8 fights. And Errol Spence was dominating the whole fight. He just got caught with a shot. He hurt Lardy multiple times in that fight. And motherfucker had the whole Earl Earl damn near put an elbow in his chin and in his neck and shit because the motherfucker was holding the whole fight. Earl was beating the shit out of Lardy in that fight, but he landed a good shot. But I think I'm gonna have to say Errol Spence's hardest puncher that he faced to date is gonna have to be out of Danny, Kale, and Lardy. For Terence Crawford, I'm gonna have to say probably Gamboa or Mean Machine. You know what I'm saying? Because Mean Machine, you seen he hurt Virgil Ortiz. But I mean, we don't really know what that means because we don't know what Virgil Ortiz, what his chin really like. But then again, shit, Mean Machine hurt Terence Crawford. Mean Machine hurt Terence Crawford and Virgil Ortiz. And remember, go back to do y'all remember in the the last press conference before the Sean Porter fight, they was doing an interview with Terence Crawford. They asked him, Breeders' Prescott had power too, but they asked Terence Crawford, who was your best two opponents, or who was your best opponents that you ever faced? He said Gamboa and Mean Machine. Now that don't mean those the hardest punchers, but it just so happened that I picked those two guys just based off of one punch power. But Crawford himself said his best opponents, his toughest fights, was Mean Machine and Gamboa. That's what Terence Crawford said out of his own mouth. So think about that. If Terence Crawford out his own mouth, he say his toughest opponents was Mean Machine and Gamboa, how would you compare Mean Machine and Gamboa to Errol Spence Jr.? Ask yourself that question. I can name at least 4 or 5 motherfuckers, maybe 6 that would have whooped both of them. I don't think Mean Machine or Gamboa beats Lamont Peterson at the time that Earl fought Lamont Peterson. I don't think neither one of them beat Lamont Peterson. I think Lamont Peterson fuck around and stop Mean Machine. Oh yeah, Spence. That ain't no question, man. Spence would have beat the dog shit out of Mean Machine. But you know, shit, Terence Crawford did too. So you know, he did what he was supposed to do. But I mean, that's what Terence Crawford said. He said my 2 best opponents was Mean Machine and Gamboa. Now you compare. Now everybody asking me, well, who is Terence Crawford fault? Who is Errol Spence fault? That's like Terence Crawford, or is this good? Is on his level? Well, match up Mean Machine and Gamboa to Errol Spence and tell me if he been in there with anybody like that. Bruce Barton, he said, do you think boxers watch your videos, professional boxers? Hell yeah, they watch, man. I've had conversations with professional boxers. You know what I'm saying? You know, man, in Dallas, you never know who you run into. You know, but yeah, and not just my videos, these boxers, promoters, trainers, they watch all this shit on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? YouTube, boxing forums and shit. Yeah, they watch all this shit, man. They might not admit that they watch. Some of them, they do come out and say, you know what, I'm a fan of that guy. I like his stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like, especially guys that actually be in the trenches and at the fights that do like actual media shit. You know, shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV, the brother Champside. You know what I'm saying? Guys who do stuff like that, you know, they get a chance to see their face and they, you know, do interviews and shit like that. But yeah, they be watching Fight Hype. You know, they watch all this shit, man. You know, they watch all this shit. Salute to the brother Rice Eater 79 back in that super chat coming through and showing love. He said, how do you praise a small Lardy 16-0 for power, never made #1 ranking to even challenge a belt, but question a 21-0 undefeated Olympian Kavalaskis? Look, it's perspective. And I appreciate you for coming through, but it's perspective. We talking about Terence Crawford being 35-0 versus Kavaliauskas, a dude who never won no title, who barely worked his way into a mandatory position, who had a draw with a fake Ray Robinson, a dude named Ray Robinson. He ain't even the real Ray Robinson, but it's perspective. So we talking about Terence Crawford at his peak, fighting Mean Machine and getting dropped. And we talking about ERROL Spence in his 9th fight. He was 8-0 versus a guy who's 16-0, and he took a good shot, got hurt, but recovered. Perspective. Perspective. We talking about Terence Crawford at his peak, in his prime, getting dropped by Mean Machine, who just had a draw with a fake Ray Robinson. I don't give a damn who Olympics he was in. And I'm not trying to shit on Mean Machine. You know, I respect fighters. I respect them. But you can't compare that to ERROL Spence, who was 8-0, fighting a guy that's 16-0, who had real skill and real power, and faced some adversity in that fight. That's all I'm saying. It's perspective. It's perspective. See, again, that's another example. When you come at me with some, I'm not just gonna say no shit just off the handle, just shoot from the hip. I'm gonna give you like real shit. I'm gonna break it down to you to where you ain't got no choice but to understand what I'm saying, because it's real logic. It's real logic. Bud said he got hurt by Ocampo. I'm like, the fuck? That fight was 1 round. Did anybody see Bud? I see where y'all get it from, bruh. Cause Bud be lying. Real talk, Terence Crawford be lying, bruh. Y'all seen the video where Earl met up with him. You know what I'm saying? And they was backstage talking shit. Man, Terence Crawford sat up there and lied on camera talking about, you got hurt by Ocampo. He couldn't even keep a straight face. Man, show me some film where ERROL Spence was hurt by Carlos Ocampo. Man, that fight didn't last 40 seconds. Talking about he got hurt by Ocampo. That's where y'all get it from, because Bud be lying. So y'all be coming to my channel lying and shit. Yeah, y'all be coming over here lying and shit, man. Talking about now Spence was getting hurt by Brook. Oh, my God. Man, Spence didn't get hurt by no Kell Brook, man. He took some good shots, but he ate them like Scooby snacks. He was eating them bitches. Why you think he kept coming forward? But he was eating them bitches. He was eating them bitches like Scooby snacks, bruh. Now Rice Eater, hold on. Rice Eater want to chime in. He like, yeah, man, Brook was lighting him up. But when he hurt him, though. Said Ocampo was fixed like Wilder and Stavern. Oh, my God, bro. Ocampo, that was fixed now. Man, I supposed to have been off this live, bro, but I can't get off because y'all so damn entertaining, bro. I'm supposed to be entertaining y'all. Y'all entertaining me. Bro said, damn, now Ocampo was fixed. That was a fixed fight. Bro, y'all funny as hell, bro. Yo. Man, hell no, bro. Y'all are hilarious. Look at Rice Eater in the chat talking about, yeah, man, you know, Brook was lighting him up. You right. Salute to the brother, Mr. Michael NY in the super chat coming through and showing love one more time. He said Bud was like, why Earl come to my fight after he said, why, hold on. He said, Bud was like, why Earl come to my fight after he said, why did I come to his fight? Earl said, why you come if you said you don't need me? Oh, yeah. Big facts. You know what I'm saying? And look, Terrence Crawford knew Errol Spence was coming to the fight. He knew Earl was coming. Earl made it a broadcast. He said, look, I'm coming to the fight, and I want the winner. That's what he said. But Earl told everybody he was coming to the fight, man. Then Terrence Crawford want to act like, oh, he was at my fight? Man, hey, Terrence Crawford low-key was happy. He was like, oh, he was at my fight? Man, Terrence Crawford really a fan, bro. You know what I'm saying? He really a fan. He was like, oh, he was at my fight? Where he at? Man, he knew he was at the fight. Jesus, he came to my fight. Bro, on me, hey, Adam. Hey, they funny, dog. These folks in here, bro. We got straight comedians in here. Salute to the brother DSV and company in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said T.O. just told Ellie this is last fight at 135. No Devin versus T.O. for Undisputed. Goddamn. Ain't that some shit? I knew he was going to pull that. I hope he get his ass whooped tonight. Even though it might not happen, I hope Telefimo get his ass whooped tonight. I don't give a damn. I hope he get his ass whooped and leave leave 135 with that L that he should have got from Devin Haney. I hope he get his ass whooped. God damn, the brother Rice Eater 79 back in that super chat, man. He said Spence was holding his Yo, bro, why you so disrespectful, dog? He said hold on. He said Spence was holding his cheeks, hoping Sean win. Bro, why you so disrespectful, dog? Say, bro, y'all Bud fans out of control, dog. I told y'all, man, look, keep the peace. Don't turn into what Manny Pacquiao fans turned into in the whole Floyd Mayweather saga, man, because it ain't gonna end good for you. No, bro, look, I told y'all why Earl left. I told y'all why he left. Because Errol Spence is a fan of boxing. And when he saw the way the fight ended, he was like, man, you gotta be out your mind. Bro, y'all shitting me right now. This man really done threw the towel in. Sean Porter, he can still go. And then, in my mind, I'm like, shit, if this your last fight, man, get knocked out then. Get knocked out then if this your last fight. Shit. Why not? You ain't got nothing to lose. Get knocked the fuck out. If you gonna go out like that, man, go out on your shield. That was a bullshit ass stoppage that I thought initially. And Errol Spence being at the fight. And then from what I'm hearing, I wasn't at the fight. But I did purchase it on pay-per-view. Yeah, I paid my little subscription for the app too. I canceled that bitch right after. But I paid my subscription for the app and I bought the pay-per-view because I support them brothers. You know what I'm saying? I support Terrence Crawford. I bought all Terrence Crawford pay-per-views. But anyway, from what I'm hearing, the people that was actually at the fight, they said that like everybody in the arena was like, what the fuck happened? Why he stopped the fight? It was a whole lot of people in that bitch like, what? And then if you listen to Errol Spence, he was saying like, why he wear that Marvin Hagler shit if he just gon' fold up like that. You dig what I'm saying? So Errol Spence was genuinely disgusted at the stoppage. That's why he had that expression that he dipped out. You know what I'm saying? That's all it was. If motherfucker, like, what would Errol Spence be risking if he stayed there? Like, what's the risk? He stay there and they ask him questions, or I mean, what's the risk? What he got to be scared of? You know what I'm saying? I know Terrence Crawford left the arena early at that Danny Garcia fight. You know, it was some smoke out there too. It was some smoke out there at the Danny Garcia fight in Arlington. It was some smoke out there. Yeah, Terence Crawford and them boys, they got up out of there. Yeah, I ain't see Terence Crawford trying to get in the ring with Earl. You feel me? You know, I ain't see Terence. I seen Terence Crawford, he got up out that motherfucker when the fight was over. So, I don't know. Salute to my brother D Lucky back in that super chat, coming through and showing love. He said Bud was gonna hurt Porter. It was smart. I do agree with you. I do agree that he was gonna hurt Porter. I've been on record to say that I think Terence Crawford is the best finisher in boxing. If Terence Crawford hurts you, he will get your ass up out of there. I've been on record to say that. So I do agree that he was gonna hurt Porter. He was gonna fuck him up. But my thing is, a fight this big, bro, you gotta go that way. Like, that shit ain't gonna happen with somebody like Earl, bro. That shit ain't gonna happen with somebody like Earl. You know what I'm saying? It gotta go down. If I gotta get stopped, it's gonna be what it gonna be. If I gotta get knocked out, it wasn't like he was just, y'all seen fights where, like, go back to Errol Spence versus Lamont Peterson. Y'all remember Errol Spence versus Lamont Peterson, right? Go back to that fight. Now remember, Earl was beating the shit out of Lamont. It was an accumulation of ass whooping. I mean, he was just taking too much punishment. What Barry Hunter say? He said, all right, look, if you don't show me something this round, it's over with. His eye was knotted up and all type of shit. That's when you stop the fight. When a motherfucker just taking punishment like that, that's when you stop the fight. But Sean wasn't Terence Crawford was sharpshooting. He wasn't landing a whole lot of shit. He wasn't just piling on an accumulation of ass whooping. So if you gonna get knocked out, let him get knocked out then. Because he was hurt, but he can still go. That ain't, in my opinion, that wasn't a throw in the towel moment for me. Typically, when you see a corner throw in the towel, it's because they fighter been taking punishment. Go back to the David Benavidez fight. When David Benavidez just fought old boy, he was taking punishment, so he threw the towel in. But if you can still move around and beat your hand on the ground and all, man, you can get your ass up and get in there. Sean still knew where he was. He wasn't like, he wasn't crazy off balance or nothing. If you gonna get knocked out, then get knocked out. That's just what it's gonna be. Salute to the brother Adam Moore in that super chat, coming through and showing love. He said, Bud is a KO artist to me. Spence is one of the most technical boxers in the game. You talking that real shit, brother. Said, and is physically better than Bud. So how the hell Bud gonna beat Bud? I know what you mean. How Bud gonna beat Spence? See, look, that's all I'm saying, bro. I just simply think Terence Crawford has more like tools and tricks and glamour, glitz, bells, and whistles. Terence Crawford got all that shit. But I think Errol Spence is the more complete fighter. I think he's just more fundamentally sound. I think when it comes to putting a game plan together and executing, I think Errol Spence is better. I just think overall, just a more complete, just a better fighter. More fundamentally sound, more technical. You know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford, with all the skills and bells and whistles, at 147, he's been just simply a KO artist. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen the Terence Crawford that fought Victor Postol. I haven't seen that guy in years since then. Everything has just been just like Deontay Wilder. Now, Deontay Wilder never been like no pure boxer, but he used to do more stuff than just look for the right hand. Deontay Wilder used to throw more jabs. He used to go to the body. Go look at the Stavern fight. He went 12 rounds with Stavern the first fight, and he was using the jab the whole fight. Then it got to a certain point, he knocking everybody the fuck out. It's like, shit, he fell in love with the power. And I see the same shit with Terence Crawford. He's just a KO artist. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. It worked for him. But against Errol Spence, you need more than that. If you can't, he only got a puncher's chance. If he don't knock out Earl, he not winning. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. If he don't knock out Errol Spence, he not winning the fight. He have to knock Earl out. And I told y'all in the first video that I made in 2018, I think it was like late 2017, early 2018, why I think Errol Spence beats Terence Crawford, I told you, I said, you have to hurt him. That's the only way you're going to win. If you don't hurt him, you're not going to win. The brother Rice Eater 79, god damn, boy, you in here going crazy in this super chat. He said, oh my God, okay, what I do now? He said, false, CT, who is CT? Said CT did not leave early. Don't smear the truth. I have the video. Oh, Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford did not leave early. Don't smear the truth. I have the video. Bud was stopped and threatened by Spence fans when he was walking up to the ring. Man, cut it out, bro. Show me the video then. Said he was stopped. Terence Crawford was threatened by Spence fans. Man, no, bro. He probably was in there talking crazy, and then them folks are finna get on his ass. That's all it was. He probably was in there talking crazy, and them folks was finna get on his ass. But I know he got up out of there though. He didn't stay. He wasn't trying to get in no ring, man. La Diet, like, I'm not trying to say that. All right, look. Terence Crawford is extremely skilled, but what the brother was saying and what I was alluding to was his style now at 147. That's what he's turned into. He's a knockout artist now. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what he looked for. He is willing to give up rounds to land a perfect punch. That's what he do. And I have no reason to believe that that's going to change when he fight Errol Spence. Because every fighter that he's fought since he's been fighting at welterweight, it's been the same thing. You know? That's what he do. But he's a great fighter. I love Terence Crawford. Great fighter, very skilled. You know what I'm saying? But I just think Errol Spence is a more complete fighter. I think he's more fundamentally sound. You know? And but we'll see, man. We'll see. We'll see. Good talk, man. I'm finna get on up out of here, man. Y'all gonna have me on this live all damn night. Texas T in the building. Salute. James Smith in the building. What's good, man? Hey, man, my boy, Rice Eater was on my head today, boy. God damn, boy. This man in here trying to disprove everything, bro. I'm hitting you with facts. I'm hitting you with real shit, man. Come on now. Yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a fight. Now, salute to the brother D Lucky back in that super chat coming through and showing love one more time. He said his approach will be different where when he fights Spence, Bud respects Spence as a fighter. Now, I get that sense. I get that sense that they both respect each other. You know what I'm saying? They both respect each other, but I don't know. I just don't really see Bud. I think he fell in love with the power. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him just fighting totally different. He could. He could. I think in this fight with him, I think he's going to have to fight orthodox. And he probably going to have to box. Or at least try to box. Because Earl going to be coming forward with pressure. And he going to be on his ass. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. I'm finna get on up out of here, man. Y'all enjoy y'all Saturday night, man. Be safe. You know what I'm saying? Be cool. You feel me? I appreciate everybody that came through in the super chat. Everybody in the regular chat supported, just interacting, man. It's always fun to have this back and forth with y'all, man. That's why I love doing live shows. I didn't get a chance to do Merlot Fridays yesterday, but glad I chopped it up with y'all today, man. Look, appreciate everybody for coming through, interacting. You know what I'm saying? Talking this good boxing. I hope y'all enjoy the fights tonight, because I damn sure am. You feel me? Y'all be safe, man. Contender regime. Boxing, I'll holler at y'all boys, man.